That was Ryan Poles during the NFL Combine discussing Caleb Williams, of course, being on the path to that second contract. Here's a look at some of the most notable quarterbacks that are currently on their rookie deals. Guys, unfortunately, they're not all going to make it to that second contract with the team that drafted them. So I'm going to take some of these guys. I'm going to put them in 3 tiers for you.
Okay.
And
All
you
right.
guys will critique me.
All right.
There's a lot to get to here. So give me a sec to get through this. Our first tier this is the guy.
Yeah.
You know, this is the guy for the team, likely on its way to a second contract.
All right.
I'm putting Jaden Daniels there. I know obviously he was injured last year.
Yes.
Based on the way he played his rookie season, that's tier 1. Drake May played in the Super Bowl. He was an MVP candidate last season. You got to make sure that he's there. And obviously, he played in the Super Bowl. Like,
I can't
don't have
argue
to
with
say
any of
anymore.
those.
Hold on. Then I got Bo Nix, obviously, went deep into the playoffs as well. CJ Stroud, I have him. We'll get back to him. And then, of course, I have Caleb Williams. CJ Stroud was the one that I kind of struggled with here, guys. The Houston Texans did exercise his 5th-year option. So they're letting him sort of play it out and see how it looks this year. I think, obviously, he made it to the playoffs, had a great year last year, but he kind of stunk in the playoffs, to say the least. I'm going to say that it's very interesting with CJ Stroud because I do think that there's an opportunity that if he isn't extended with the Houston Texans, there is going to be a team that's going to give him a contract.
He'll get paid.
He'll get paid.
Yeah.
So I have him in my tier 1 of the guy. What do you guys think?
Is there any room for another quarterback in that tier or not? Were there only 5 or you reduced to 5? Because Tyler Shuck would be a guy to keep an eye on. I think Tyler Shuck down in New Orleans, the way that he came on out of nowhere, frankly, I don't think we expected to be talking about him. I think there's room for him in tier 1.
Well, David, that's an interesting segue into my tier 2, which I'm basically categorizing as it's unclear. Let's see, right? Like, let's let him play it out.
Yep.
Let's see. And Tyler Shuck, I do have in that tier because of the way that he finished last season for the Saints. Jackson Dart, let's see, right? Can you stay on the field? That's the big question for Jackson
Great
Dart.
point.
Can you stay healthy? Cam Ward, I battled with, guys, here because I actually almost had him in my tier 3, which we'll get to. But I want to give him another shot. Brian Daboll's there. And you know what Brian Daboll's really good at? Developing quarterbacks, which I think is really interesting because Brian Daboll's not going to have to worry about managing the game, which obviously he couldn't do in New York. He gets to just be a coach, and he gets to develop a quarterback. So I'm excited to see what Cam Ward can do there as well. And then Bryce Young, I'm just not ready. I know it was a year. I know they made it to the playoffs. I'm just not ready to put him in tier 1 yet. This is going to be a big year for Bryce Young.
He didn't win more games than he lost last year, but he still made the playoffs. They almost beat the Rams in that first round. He didn't. Jackson Dart's a guy, if he could stay healthy, I would maybe move him up to tier 1 and move CJ Stroud down to tier 2.
You guys think it's easy to find these quarterbacks? I think when you have Bryce Young, he's a tier 1 guy as well because he got to the playoffs. I know he started the season, he was down here. I love the way he ascended.
Yeah.
With good coaching and a little maturity, I think Bryce Young is a guy that will get from unclear to sure thing.
All right, I think so too. I think this is the year that he could potentially do it. And if he doesn't, he's going to tier 3. Let's go check in on tier 3, guys, who I basically have as unlikely to get that second contract.
Let's go.
All right, I'm putting Fernando. It's not really fair.
This had to hurt.
We're putting Fernando and Ty Simpson in tier 3 because, guys, they're not going to play this year. Neither of them.
That's a good point.
So, we can't really say what the deal is with either of them yet.
Incomplete for them.
All right, so Aiden O'Connell, you're out. Here are the 2 that I really want to talk about, and that's J.J. McCarthy and Michael Penix Jr., who I have in tier 3, unlikely to get that second contract with the teams that they're currently on. And here's why. Both of them have new GMs. No connection to whatever where they were drafted, how they were developed, how they were assessed, right, when they were coming out of the draft. So I think that's going to be really interesting, not to mention both teams went out this offseason and looked for somebody else.
Got quarterbacks.
Tua Tagovailoa,
Yes.
Kyler Murray.
Yes.
They're there. They're going to compete. So I'm really curious to see what happens there. And I have Shedeur Sanders in tier 3.
Sorry.
You're talking about Deshaun Watson
I
trying to
know.
start.
Don't say it too
It's
loud. You might
unfortunate.
upset his brother.
But so there, what do you guys think? Tier 3.
I think JJ's a guy that I'd move up to maybe because if he wins this job, I think he still has a chance to be okay. You look at the last 4 games, they were 4-0, and he played better. 6 touchdowns, no interceptions.
I think rational Ruthie thinks with her head, not her heart. Had to be hard for her to put him in the unlikely category. But yes, because of the reason you cited, different GM, Kyler Murray's there. I don't see a second contract.
Still
with
same
JJ
head
McCarthy.
coach, Kevin O'Connell.
I know, but he's got to whisper into another quarterback's ear now.
There you have it. All right, you guys like my?
Good list.
I love it. It's a good list.
It.
It's a good list.
Okay,
There's only 2 I would quibble with, but I think those are reasonable.
I like little validation.
Reasonable Ruthie.
Yeah, CJ Stroud tier 1.5. Can we agree on that?
Yeah. We can agree on that.
We're going to take another break here on the Big Pro Football Show. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, the Blackhawks await their fate tonight in the draft lottery. Will the ping pong balls ever make their way to the NFL? We'll discuss the future of the NFL draft and which current Bears players with a hockey mentality. We'll be right back.